Now, I know that COVID and quarantine has made residential housing quite the commodity around the world. I mean, we have course members I talk to all the time who are having the biggest years of they're having the biggest year of their life. You know, their production is up 300%. There's no inventory. It is a pure seller's market. That is not what we have in New York. Right? New York, the average days on market is something like 400. You know, the inventory here is probably 6.5 years deep, years. So that's the market that I have to work in every single day. But I know what a seller's market is like. You know, working with buyers in a seller's market can be lucrative because you can get buyers to be motivated and excited to pull the trigger, and buy-side deals are great because there's less advertising expenses, right? You've just got kind of the car, you got the gas, you've got maybe some dinners, not anymore, maybe a drink 6 feet away, but you're trying to convince a buyer to do a deal that they otherwise might be too nervous to do. And no one wants to try to stand in front of a speeding car, right? That's what buyers feel like in a seller's market. It's like they're on the side of the road, on the highway, and they've got all these speeding cars going by them, which are different buyers racing to different houses, which are different, you know, listings that are coming on and then going off because they sold so fast. And they're just nervous, right? They don't want to step out into the middle of the highway and get hit by another car. So we, as salespeople, have to have the strategy for them to cross that highway safely. And on the other side of that highway is their perfect house that they got for their price. But there's ways that you do that without getting hit by a car and dying. You know, I actually had a client last year, and the market was a little bit better here, wanting to find something in the Hamptons out east. He was a client that I actually first met in 2012 with his wife. And they were looking for something small in the city. And we looked around for a long time. We looked at like 1 bedrooms, and it was 2-bedroom apartments. And first they wanted the Upper East, and then they wanted the Upper West, and then they wanted Gramercy, and then they wanted Brooklyn, and then they disappeared. And we all know what that feels like, right? Like he just completely disappeared. They stopped responding to all of my emails. It was just like, it's so disheartening because I'd spent, I think, probably like 6 or 7 months with them, just showing them different apartments, and then they just didn't buy anything. And I got nervous that maybe they bought with somebody else, but I followed up with them over and over and over. And if you've read Sell Like Serhant, or if you've taken the course, or if you're going to take the course after this, you know, a big thing for me is follow up, follow through, follow back, right? That's my secret sauce, like the 3 F's. You live by those and you will be more successful. You will sell more real estate. You will build a better, bigger team. So follow up, follow through, follow back. I followed up with him every single month. Sometimes it was once a week, depending on what I had to follow up with him with value. And then fast forward, so 5 years, after no response to any of my emails, in 2017, he replies and says, "So sorry, man, been a little busy." And says he's now divorced and he wants to go find a place in Soho. And I took him out for 1 day. And he said, "Listen, I really appreciate your persistence, staying on top of us for all this time. It's so crazy that all these years have gone by. I know a lot of other residential brokers in the business, but you really stuck with me, and I appreciate that. And I know how hard your job must be, so I'll buy with you." And he bought a place in 1 day for $16 million.